Learn to act as if nothing was to bother you. You're starting to realize that a lot of things are not going your way. You're starting to realize why you're giving too much emotion into things that don't even matter. You're wondering why you're struggling so much. You wonder why life is so difficult. And that is because you put too much power within the outside instead of the inside. Simple as it is, you have to come to a realization that no matter what happens in your life, what matters is what you think and your perspective and the way you feel about that moment, right? Because at the end of the day, there's always two different type of people. There could be that broke person who is happy inside, who loves his life, who loves what you do, or you can be the broke person who doesn't love what he has, who doesn't appreciate, who's just in a hateful emotion, right? At the end of the day, learning to act as if nothing bothers you is the most important factor for you. And this is not just about life. This could correlate into your finances, into your business career, into your own self, into your outside self. You know, professionally and just being yourself, acting as if nothing was bothering you. A lot of people will see that. A lot of people will start to know that what type of person you are, what type of person you are through struggles, through hardships, and just in general, you don't give too much attention to other people, right? And also, like, this can also refer to relationships. A lot of people give too much attention to the females. A lot of people give too much time into the females, and that's exactly why people lose them. And now you lost something. Now that that attention is up and your emotions are evaluated by that situation, you can really think out of anything better, right? So you have to know that everything is temporary, limited emotions, right? Just because you feel sad does not mean you're depressed. Just because you struggle and one day doesn't mean your life is struggle, right? At the end of the day, everything is temporary. You're not your emotions. You are you. Cuz most of the time you're happy, you're sad, you're worried, you're stressed. Like it's just like a fluctuating thing. You're never in one state. That is exactly why a lot of people always have lower frequencies because now they're not really aware of how they feel or sort of emotions that they throw out. They always be at that low frequency emotion status and never grow, right? At the end of the day, you have to come to a realization that you can control how the way you feel. But if you let things happening, if you let one thing get over you, another thing get over yourself, you're never gonna be thinking to your proper identity because you're so worried about one thing and another, right? And I feel like a lot of people they tend to put their problems overcomplicate them, which is something that's really much more unnecessary. It's really unnecessary, right? Just straight to the point. So you also have to be aware that nobody cares about you. Everyone has their own life. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody cares what you did yesterday. Nobody cares what you're gonna do tomorrow. Nobody cares what you did last year. Nobody cares about that video that you got posted to. Nobody cares if people laugh at you. Nobody cares about the never nervous moment that you had like 3 years ago. Nobody cares. Realistically, nobody cares. And even if people care, why you should care, right? Are you saying that just because a person feels sad, you will feel sad for them? At the end of the day, that's not how life works. Life works on your own self, right? So your own self prospect has to come from your own self identity. The way you feel, the way you act, the way you make decisions has to be based on your heart or yourself, I would say, or yourself, right? Nobody cares about you. Why would you care if someone talks shit about you? Why would you care if someone tells you what you should do? It doesn't matter. This is your own life. You have your own hands. You have your own feet. You have your own mind. Why are you thinking from other people's mindsets? Right? There's no such real life that you have to live other people's lives. There's no such real life that you have to live for other people's pleasures. Because if you're doing that, you're basically draining yourself and you're not hanging around with the right environment. People don't hang around with the right environment, but they're not self-aware about their environment because they're so focused on the distractions. Simply it is, it's just distractions. They're simply focused on the distractions, which simply leads to bad habits, right? So, just for perspective, you're 1 out of 8 billion. You're one person out of 8 billion. You know how many people I see every day on my job. You see how many new people I talk to. You see how many people I see I forget about every day. Like, you have to come to realization that people look at you, and then boom, it's gone. Like, people are gonna look at you and then it's gone. Like, it's over with. Like, there's no such thing as them keeping you inside their mind unless you're just a recognizable person. You're just a celebrity. Of course, people are gonna look at you all the time, right? But what I'm trying to say is that if you have this perspective and you come to realization that, damn, that is true. Even if I want to do something different today, why should I care if people see me? Like, people do this either way. Whatever you're trying to do, you have to know that a lot of people already do it. And if anything, they're already ahead of you because they're not even thinking about, oh my God, these people are thinking about me. These people are going to judge me. They're not even thinking about that. The thing is that a lot of people are being attracted to his own mindset and to his perspective. That is why he is already doing what you want to do, right? Don't take criticism. Only take advice from people who you would take advice from, right? Just because a person gives you criticism doesn't mean that he's giving you support. Sometimes it is negative. Sometimes they're trying to implement their own limited beliefs into you. Sometimes it's just, they just want to vent. Most of the time people just want to vent, so they want to go throw it at you, right? So don't take criticism from people that you wouldn't take advice from, right? A lot of people should just learn how to take the realization of a difference between people who are talking shit about you or people who are trying to give you advice. If you see that this person is not where you want to be at, if you see this person doesn't like you at all, just energy is really off and he's talking bad about you, you're supposed to stand for yourself, right? Because now that's affecting your self-identity, right? But what I'm trying to say is that there's a difference between the person talking shit and the difference between the person giving you advice. And whenever that person gives you advice, you have to be a student of life. Student of life, right? So don't take criticism from anybody who you wouldn't want to be. Take advice from people who you want to be, right? There's always a difference. Don't let criticism take you down. Criticism is not real. Advice is real, right? So now, think about your perspective. Your perspective matters, right? Your perspective doesn't have to come from a outside world. It has to come from the inside. And every time I say this, I always mention this. The outside and the inside world. These two components are different. The outside world is what doesn't matter. What the inside is what matters, right? So you're supposed to think to yourself. You're supposed to think, okay, this perspective is only mine and this is going to protect me from anything. It should be a barrier. It should be an energy shield, an energy barrier. So no matter what perspectives other people are trying to give you, at the end of the day, you're still going to hold your own ground because you stand on your own perspective and that's what you truly want, right? So give other things to care about. You're caring too much. You're caring too much about the unnecessary. You have to think about other things that you should care about. Meaning that, okay, oh my gosh, let's say for example you want to become a content creator, right? Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I'm scared to make content. I'm scared that people are gonna talk bad about me. I'm scared that people that I know are gonna see me. I don't want to do this. Now you're just caring about things that aren't realistic and they're pure illusions. When on the other hand, let's say for example, you already took decision, you already took action, you already have your own channel, you already uploaded 5 videos. What you're caring about is getting more views. What you're caring about is hitting the algorithm. What you're caring about is getting more better thumbnails, better editing, right? So there's always two different type of people. The classified people, right? At the end of the day, one person is going to worry about the unwanted situations, or the second person is going to be worrying about the wanted situations. I want this problem to happen to me. I want my videos to not be watched, so now I can have a problem and fix it. I want people to criticize me and give me advice, so now I can get better, right? There's always those two different people. Or you could be the person that is scared to receive that, because man, sometimes people, they're scared. Most of them are scared. You shouldn't be scared of false illusions and false situations, right? So now, you are you. You are simply you. No matter what, you're always gonna be you, and nobody can change that from you. You're always gonna have your character. You're always gonna have your story. You're always gonna have your personality, but your personality has to be based on yourself. Don't base your personality on your ego. Your ego is basically things that you really don't want to base live off, right? Your ego is just based on a lot of things that are really untrue, and most of them must come from a false image. So you have to be yourself. You are you, right? So at the end of the day, you're either gonna have good or bad thoughts. You're always gonna have thoughts. It's a scientific form that, at the end of the day, most humans have 99% of the thoughts are negative, which is because the way we grew up, the way we listen, the way we've been judged, and it's completely normal and natural. But it's the way how you focus on the good, positive thoughts and never focus on the negative, right? So now, last one. Life is not meant for judge. You're not supposed to judge your life. You're not supposed to judge other people's lives, because life is life itself. Your life is not your life. You are you. Life is life itself. So think about it like this. If you want to create your own life, you have to create your own self, right? Because you are not your life. Life is just life. Like, life is gonna be happening in the outside. Like, you can't control life. There's still gonna be plants growing. Water is still gonna be there. The moon is still gonna be there. But the only thing that you can control is fear and your own identity. So that's why it all matters. Control what you can control and change what you can change. But yeah, man, speaking Fredo Saga, at the end of the day, learn to act as if nothing bothers you. Nothing really bothers you. You only let it bother you. Alright, man.